you said commitment forever, Corey, right?
Yeah.
And how does this forever commitment affect men directly? Why they may not be getting married or staying married?
So I really believe it comes down to man being scared of what what's in the relationship or what's in the marriage, as far as what he has to deal with over and over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Um, so if it's a situation where she don't want to cook, right? She don't want to cook, or she don't want to clean up, or she don't want to do the things that he feels like a wife is supposed to do, right? And she says no, I don't feel like doing it. I've been working all of these hours or whatever. And he like, well, how am I supposed to eat? So it comes down to the man being a leader and being the man of the house. You have to figure this out and say, okay, she's worked just as much as I've worked, so let me go ahead and cook, or let me go ahead and clean up, or let me do the things that I need to do uh to add to her, to her issues that she might be having outside of the household. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pass it over to Tony.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tony.
Um, I think that it's important that um, we first have to believe that marriage or the family is important. Because if we don't believe that, then we lose focus along the journey. We lose
That's
focus
good.
for the purpose of because many times the union are when people come together, and especially in modern society, we don't think farther than that. We don't think 10 and 15 and 20 years down the line. Many times it's for, our eyes are wide open, and we have all these feelings, and we didn't properly process and evaluate what we're actually doing.
Mm.
So I think that the information, the purpose of why we come together is important, and it's not only for you to be lit with somebody your whole life, or for me to have in-house kitty, right? Or
It's
for
a benefit though.
it's a benefit for sure, or for her
Yes.
to have uh just only safety and security, right? It's greater than that. That's where those things are a part of marriage. But marriage, if we don't look past what I get out of it, then
That's good.
we'll lose focus of its importance in society,
Yeah.
because our relationship stretches beyond, just like we everybody say in church, right? Oh, we need to get out of the four walls, for the four walls. Like, okay, what does that look like? What does it mean?
Yeah.
So it's just in the marriage, it's not just about what happens in the four walls that impacts us. Like when your marriage or your family is in impact, it also impacts the community.
Yeah.
So and that's what I believe, that in marriage, that people don't focus on is our union, how it impacts, how it has ripple effects in the world, on our community, in the city we live in, the state we live in.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you really chopped that up, bro. I love that. And I kind of want to piggyback off what you said. Those were some bars, Tone, for real. Because what I hear is this. This is what I hear. People get married because they want to be happy. They don't get married for anything
Yeah.
purposeful. I'm with you. Like people want to be happy. There are so many people when I do marriage counseling as a therapist, or even when I was pastoring heavy, people want to be happy. For some reason, our lives have become about, like what Tony said, only about what we want. What about the reason why you came together? Personal story, true story. And Corey, he's heard me say this, and I've told him in front of my wife. I didn't love my wife when I first got married, right? I knew that I was supposed to be with this woman. I actually thought that I was getting married for purpose. What I found out as a man is that happiness is very fleeting, because what I wanted when I was 30, 20, I don't want when I'm 30. When I wanted when I was 30, I don't want at 40. Now I'm approaching 50, and I imagine some of the things I want might be different. But like Tony said, the one consistent thing is I understand the importance of me being with my wife. I understand the purpose of me being with my wife. I understand the purpose of the family that God has given me. I deem it important enough. So when I say commitment forever, now I realize that if I leave her, then my son is going to suffer. If I leave her, my daughter is going to suffer. If I leave her, my community is going to suffer. And Tony, that was, to me, that was simply profound, because I've never heard anybody say that. I've never heard anybody say, you know what, you didn't count up the cost before you got married. You only thought about what you can get
Yeah.
out of it. You didn't
Yeah.
realize what you were bringing into the world by being married, and you don't understand the carnage you'll leave in the world by getting divorced. And I really like how you said that, and it's simple, but it's extremely profound. And we as men, we need to give that some consideration. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, it ain't about the in-house sex, although it could be a benefit. And shoot, you study those statistics. One in four households of marriages are actually sexless. So if you ain't on that other 75, you ain't even getting that benefit. So what else would y'all like to say? What is it about marriage that can be intimidating to men sometimes? So that's kind of like, I like, we don't really count up the cost. What else maybe men may be afraid of from getting married?
Well, I think a lot of people, they get married based on just love. You know what I'm saying? And love is a choice. So I think when you marry for love, man, I think you really doing a disservice to yourself, because you're supposed to love God first, right? And that's
Yeah,
supposed to be the order. So love is definitely a roller coaster, and it's gonna go up and down through the whole marriage. So what you want to really focus on is the core, right? Why did you marry this person? Because if love isn't there, you know what I'm saying, what else is gonna be there? You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the sex, whether it's how she treat her kids, whether it's how she treat the community, how she treat her family, friends, whatever. It could be anything. How she wash the clothes, how she makes salmon. You know what I'm saying? You could actually like that and equate that to love and say, okay, I still want to be with this person. So and it's harder. It's getting even harder for men out here because the divorcing a woman that has kids with you is gonna cost you damn near 250,000 easy. You know what I'm saying? Over the years, with alimony, child support, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So you you want to try to pick the right person, and you don't really even know if that's the right person or not. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
as a man, you have to be that leader and say, okay, I'm not divorcing you. We gonna get this stuff straightened out. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna continue going on and on. But it's hard to do that now because, like the statistics that you pointed out, you got 75% of the women going to divorce court said, I want to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? And then you got
okay,
ulterior motives also, you know what I'm saying, with these women wanting to get out and just, get out here and be free. They want to get out here and be free and get what they can get out of the marriage while they free. So, and the guys looking at it like, man, I don't want to have to be paying no woman, you know what I'm saying? And she has my house, she getting child support, she getting alimony, and she have another guy in the house while
right,
he out struggling. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
that's scary for any
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying? And it might send him it might send him on a whole nother route and a whole nother level seeing something like that. So
Okay. What you got, Tone?
Yeah. Uh, man, why are men afraid to get married? I think it's more like, especially the modern male, it's a lot to do with that fear of her taking everything, or her, leaving with the kids, or even a man with a who, the child support thing. But I also think that, which I don't hear many people talking about, is number one, we've lived in a patriarchy society over the years.
Yeah.
And when the house falls apart, they don't look at the wife.
You're
When
right.
the family
yeah,
fails, they don't look at the wife. So men are processing this woman, this child, or this lady, and he's processing that, I have to take care of them. I have to take care of her. I have to I'm the weight of whether the house. So put it this way: if the house fails, it's on me. If the house succeeds, it's us, right? So
Right. You right.
in
You
the
are so right.
patriarchy, it is in the patriarchy society, the male gets blamed for all the issues that go on in the community, or in the family. So it's a scary thing when the man, a lot of people, and I know me, I've never, people talk about I had to experience it, like how heavy it is to maintain a family as a man,
Yeah.
yeah,
how much
yeah,
pressure it is to maintain your home. You
yeah,
know, you if you get injured on a job, like, and you struggle with the car note, you struggle with the mortgage now, you got
yep,
the monthly
That's
food
real.
bill, you
That's
got
real.
the gas bills, so all of these things you have to process while in it, because nobody told me that it's this much responsibility, because nobody really talked about how much a man really had to carry as a father and a husband in a patriarchy society.
right,
Come on. You
So
right.
not to mention that you're also black.
Right.
Mhm.
So it's you feel me. So it's double the stumbling
The
blocks
weight,
you have
yeah,
that you warn against out here in the world, that you have to persevere or fight through in order to build, in order to have a successful family. So I think that on top of that, you have a whole generation who didn't have fathers in the home.
Yeah.
So he has a girlfriend, and then she get pregnant, and he don't know where to go from there. And she
Yep.
has all of these demands on what she has already in her mind what she believes a man or husband or father is supposed to be. He has no idea. So that's a
Right.
that's a
Yeah.
scary thing. Marriage is the last thing he's thinking about. So I think
Yeah.
that
under no pressure.
outside of like the taking everything, because a lot of us don't have nothing for the lady to take. So
Hmm.
Right.
what is he afraid of? So I think that responsibility, that woman walking up to you saying, "Hey, what are we gonna do about this month?" That's pressure.
Yeah.
Hey, hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Come on. Come on, Tone.
Definitely.
the cupboards in the refrigerator is running empty. What are we gonna do? The
Right.
car
Real
just
talk.
broke down. What are we gonna do? The children are wayward. What are we gonna do? And the man
Yeah.
is I I have to respond.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And that's a scary thing for the majority of the men I know, is
Yeah.
that they're afraid that when a woman comes to him and asks the question, "What are we gonna do?" he won't have an answer.
Come on. Hey man.
Hey.
If
Hey.
I was bad you, I'll punch you in your face. That was man, that was That was cool, man. And I want to piggyback off of it because, which even adds insult to injury, right? Is when also these these same type of women may not be as gracious as you want them to be, where where
Right.
they're not gracious about it. So when you hurt your back, now you just trifling. Now they throwing you away. Or because remember that stat was 75% of women are asking for these divorces. And what people would lead you to believe, and I know both of y'all know this, I know at least 5 or 6 brothers whose wife left them, and these guys were the best fathers
Yeah,
and best providers that a woman could ask for. You know some of them, Tony. Corey, you know one of
for
them.
sure.
These guys provide, these guys guide, and the woman still wanted to leave them. So I think the other fear is that a man also feels that he'll never be enough for any woman out here. Because I
Right,
like that you
right.
use the word patriarchy, because I can make six figures, but but she wants 7. You know what I'm saying? I got a Nissan Altima right now that I drive, but if you marry somebody that want an Infinity, she leaving you, bro, because you don't have enough for her. Meaning that what's happening is that women are sometimes, and I'm not saying all the time, sometimes women are basing their standards on what they see on social media, what they see on Housewives of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? What they see on Instagram. I can name y'all 5 women I know that got breast jobs and booty jobs, and they married. Well, why? Right? He ain't got no problem with what you're doing. It's because society right now, this is my opinion. I like that you use the word patriarchy. And I never thought of that, Tony. That well, I thought about it pressuring men, but I didn't apply it to marriage. That men are so pressured to be perfect men, but women right now, they get a pass. Because he said it the best. If we fail, it's the man's fault. And if we doing good, it's both of us. Come on, man. And if we get a divorce, you taking what I have?